okay type shit. I'm going to try to speak as naturally as the words come to me without editing around too much because I seem to have the presumption that it's hard to follow me sometimes. And I know I can be on topic, but similar to reading um, an essay or a Wikipedia or even a TikTok blue highlighted text within a comment, you can just keep typing, like keep clicking to different topics that all stemmed from one thing. But I'm trying to help you be caught up with me so that we can be seeing the same things. But not only do I forget that people don't even see visually in their head all the time, and some people aren't working on 5 different pages at once, but I am, and I feel like I've said that in other episodes. Who minds? Um, and yeah, I don't want to do that, but I do it. Me and the gang, hashtag friend group, been, you know, been, you know, we've had some people go to the other side. They're medicated now. Some of us still roaming around undiagnosed. Hella allegations. But that's not my life's purpose. Um, I'm free. Let me move the mic a little closer. But I'm free. Um, okay. This is back with carrot soup, carrot talks, chopped carrots. I don't know what it's called yet. It's just real. That's why, okay, let me talk with speed so that I can talk accurately. Let's talk about the setup. I did intentionally put it like this, but it also works for me. But I also kind of hate it, but it also works for me and it's okay. It's just that the space in front of me I wish was bigger. Like it's already like it's decently sized, but it's like when you're a little bit too close to something instead of like really far away from something, that's kind of what it feels like. Anyway, we have the white flowers to represent the beginnings because we're here. The white candle that I will now light almost ceremoniously to burn. Ooh, I'm not scared of fire, but this will not be kept on just for safety purposes. Cause McGregor off cam doesn't recommend it. I'm kidding. McGregor's not real and nobody's there. Actually, I think I put it out too early. Here comes the bride. Actually, I was going to do a. You can make the cobras dance, but not me. But everybody geesing right now. But that's okay. Oh my gosh. That's why I usually just stick it in a plant. Baby. My face itches. Can I scratch my face on the mic? Or is that why is this the smallest hole in the world? You are the smallest hole ever. And some of y'all wanna hear that. But that's not my business. Okay. Um Life is always changing, ever changing. I am ever growing. Everything is forever expanding and changing. to not only what I believe, but also to things that I cannot even conceive of greatness. And that's like the constant. Why is this mic all up in my face? Um, actually, I'm away. I sense ops. Anyway, back to the current situation. There's so much I can say because I've. It's just I've okay. Let's go in order. Let's relax. Currently, I do feel more active, like actively navigating the world instead of feeling like I'm in a partial dream reality. Like, literally, I'm generating in my head like these three different scenarios that I'm all living at once, to the point where it's like everything is merged together. I don't remember if it actually happened, but then I do remember it happening, or I remember three different situations and like people who I saw there, like either don't remember or do remember. So it's like no real sources. Um, but it's not neither here or there. Uh, but yes, but since I've been active, I've been like, whoa, what are we doing right now? Almost like an interview from the shows that have interviews made a show. And hmm, I've also been I've been like, let's try neutrals. Let's be neutrals with a pop. Can you give neutrals with a pop? Okay. Um, some dark confessions. Let's start there so I can get my brain back to flowing. Cause I was thinking of stuff on the way home. Uh, okay. Let's remember. Oh yes, this is one topic I was thinking of on the way home. That sometimes you just need to get up and stretch, not just move around, like day to day activities, like not just working out, which but that is also like, to me working out is kind of categorized as is a stretch plus two, because you get the exertion and then you get like all the other stuff and and the muscle gain. But I feel like stretching can even like stretching yoga, just sometimes you just need to move with intention. And that's like, I feel the easiest way to convince the start to start like stretching more or something. Um Sometimes I'm not even just stretching, I'm just like intentionally like, but I feel like that's kind of like yoga vibe. But I don't know, I never took an official class. I just had a random dude show me stuff, but that sounds mad sus. But he's like, "Oh yeah, I do yoga. Just at the park, just doing some yoga." But it was even like yoga. I think, I don't know. So I'm like, I don't know. Uh, but in my head, yoga is just, you just, cause the way you just like activate every part of every muscle that is being used in a motion. Actually, every muscle in your body, just like everything just locked in as you're doing the movement. So you feel it like everywhere, and you feel all the connections. You feel what, like how the tip of your finger feels all the way to up here, and then how it just keeps going and going and going. Um, Getting into mobility, especially after I hurt my back in January. But I did slow down on it, but I'm like now trying to get back into how often I would do it. But yeah, I am pro stretching with friends. The other day, 'cause I feel like I help a lot of people stretch and I massage a lot of people, but I don't get massage myself. Now I could say the thoughts that might only be related to by people who have any thoughts of insecurity, or I can just keep going with the topic. Um, I'll bring it up after. So yeah, and I had a friend like actually like help push my leg back and help like try to pop my back and stuff, and especially coming from okay, basically I'll just say this, especially being like bigger, a lot of people ain't brawny enough to help really do anything, but they'll try. Some people do try, and those I appreciate because you know they it's like a good feeling of not even them just trying to include you, but they actually think they can help, which is like sweet. Um, and I was like I appreciated being helped stretching. Uh, so I'm like stretch with your friends, just move, clench, freaking stretch and flex all these freaking um muscles and limbs with loved ones and friends and acquaintances, and even say if you got a gym bay, like y'all not dating yet, but y'all kind of like each other, but y'all not saying it yet, like y'all still like getting to know each other and going to the gym together, and y'all stretch. And don't even gotta be nothing you do not have to put your leg over your head and do all no. It just be like just warming up the body truly. And anytime I have a friend come up to me about like pain, I'm like, have you stretched? Like when you do these activities, especially about the like with the guy friends who work out and they're really like, oh, my warm up is like I just start benching 60 pounds and then I go to my max like 120, and then I just do 120 for 5 reps, and then yeah, and then I go on with my day. And then they be like, oh, my shoulder hurts. I don't know why my shoulder hurts. And that's not everybody, because I don't know, because like his different lifestyles and movements and stuff could have helped you really make that good connection in the shoulder and like warming up your arm, and like because when the muscles aren't talking to each other, which I feel like is the case with anything, when you're not communicating. Okay, this is the two ways. When you're not communicating, if the muscles aren't communicating, not only because they don't have like the maturity to say so, understand the importance of explaining and all this stuff and da 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 da. If a muscle has never been worked and there, you know how all the bones are connected and everything, the left bone connected to the bone, like that's all happening, but like they can't even go visit each other because they don't know the like it's I don't know how to explain. Basically, helping like stretch and make like those movements of holding and like especially with a band like bro. With the band and just holding and just like trying to feel everything warm up. Yeah, that's really lit. And if you toke, bro, just go and like just breathe. For everybody, breathe. And every time you breathe out, you like go deeper into the stretch. You just hold it and you just believe and pray and believe and hope and believe and pray and hope and believe and pray and hope and believe. Next topic. Um, allowing myself to get back into crafts. I really do think like I've been trying to be nicer to myself, right? Because I know I've acknowledged that I feel as if I'm my hardest critic, which I, of course, haven't 100% healed from. But it is an active thought that I learn from. So, I'm always trying to like check on it. But it feels like me just being nice, or it's like I have the, like, I see the main goal, but I haven't truly set anything in motion to make sure that that intention is set, not like to create without fear of a response or disbelieving my own capabilities, desires, time I'll spend, etc. And even something as simple as this is also part of it, because I'm like, oh, I don't have much to say, or oh, there's nothing to bring up, but I'm talking all the time. And I feel like at the beginning when I was like, oh, it's really hard to catch up with me, not catch up with me, but sometimes stay on topic with me, even though you see I do the boo 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 boo. Uh, let's also talk about something that I would like to, like, when it comes to things that are quote unquote embarrassing or almost like failures or anything. It's kind of I feel like I just don't mind announcing it, because it's like, hey, maybe you didn't notice this feeling that you experienced, and you didn't feel like it was worth acknowledging. This stuff is blowing all in my face. You didn't find, anyway. I can just say whatever I want. How about that? That's why I'm like, why am I looking for an answer to everything? And the other day, it was my friend's birthday, Jada's birthday, and Jada and Maddie are gonna be on an episode too. Um, we were like whatever hanging out, and I was I can tell the story. Who cares? So it was like every two or three people asked me, like, oh, should we get her a cake? Should we do this? And Jada, in my head, in my column file of her, doesn't really care for cake. It wasn't really a question that I ever asked. And like anytime, even if I'm trying to think about if I've seen her eat a cake, I can't, because all I remember is that she likes different snacks. Even though it's like, it's funny how in my head I took note of the different snacks, but never of note of like our similar snacks. And I was like, I don't think she likes cake. We should get her something else. And then in the group chat, she asked like, oh, who wants Cheesecake Factory? And I was like, oh, see guys, she wants cheesecake. Like, she likes different snacks. And not different than like, oh, but different as is like stuff I don't typically get. And then like when we were about to go inside, she asked about a cake, and I was like, dang. I had the chance twice to make sure that she got something like that moment by getting a cake and everything. But I let my overanalyzing for like a perfect combination of every possible event. And I'm like, oh, best comes to best. We get her like, only because like when we went out, she got a paleta with like the chocolate and Dubai chocolate on it, and I was like, LOL. Um, and that's why I'm like, oh, we could have got her something else like that. But then no, she could have got a cake. And even if she didn't want the cake, or not didn't want it, but even if she, I guess yeah, didn't have the appetite for a cake, she still got like a cake that she could blow candles out of, that we got for her. And not in the way that I'm like upset about this. Nobody's double questioning this, but it was just like a moment where I was like, hmm. And while I was talking, like explaining this to her, and I kept talking, she was like, stop analyzing me. But not like in a mean way. Like, she was like, stop analyzing me. And I was like, period. let me shut up. Because I'm like, I don't know if this has always just been slipping out, like, and I think I said after, I was like, actually, I think I have been realizing or having the feeling that I get close to people, but I don't know if it stems from like me just like getting to know this person and I start studying them, or if it's like I want to study this person and that's what gets me into getting to know them. Haven't figured that part out yet, but I'm pretty, maybe it's a mixture of both. I mean, nobody's perfect. um so yeah. Uh Wait, girl, what we say? Girl, let me know what we just said. Hello. Oh yeah, getting to know people. Mm, yeah, with like, now I don't want to do it negatively. But anyways, I'm like, wait, I am like, but it's not even I'm analyzing. It's just like as they're talking to me, as we hang out, it's like kind of like I said earlier, like the file I had of Jada, like a file for everybody. And this is me actively describing the freaking scenery in my head, in my mindscape. Okay, that's why I'm looking to the side, 'cause I'm like, I'm seeing it. Um. So yeah, every time I turn my head, I lose my train of thought. So yeah, it's like as they're talking to me like on this screen, in this realm is like folder open, we're looking. And sometimes it's even first person POV, like I'm just like, I'm like, oh. But I analyze everything, so it's not just people. It's like there's the end goal, the end idea, the end, like the hypothesis even, and it's all stemming. It's like stemming back to that. It's like, how do we get here? Hmm. I say they're like, oh, I never really um. Okay, so let's say it happens like this, but then okay, let me keep okay. So yes, I analyze people. Yes, I analyze things and I thoughts and ideas and stuff and da da da. But nah, but only, but it's not like I don't care about everything like that. That's the one slight benefit of it. But another negative, but it's also can be a negative because it's like, okay, this thing pays, like this thing does not interest me. I'm not intrigued by this. I don't want to waste my analyzing time on this. Like I don't care. But it could be something that I need. So the only way to get it into the analyzing category is to raise its level of importance. But sometimes I can't. I'm like, girl, I don't care about this movie. But they're like, that movie. I think it was like in college when it's a little souvenir. So yeah, I analyze that situations, people. Oh, okay. I remember what I was gonna say now. So But it's not just me studying this person for like manipulation tactics or um anything. Most of the time it just, falls into the thing of just remembering details about them, because some details don't really weigh in too deep on the web for in my head, but then some details stem back to questions that lead back to our hypothesis. It's like not asking, like you're not gonna ask. I mean, you can definitely, but at least I didn't, or not for everything. Like you're not gonna ask every question that you have. They come up, the answers come up in due time or when it's brought up or anything. Um, so yeah, it helps me remember things about them, or like there's details and stuff. So it's not always weird. Me trying to defend myself, uh, but also helps me defend them in my head. Hear me out. And it's not just always giving everyone the benefit of the doubt, but it also is. But then I'm also a Libra, so deal with that. But it's like, okay, we are assigned, I don't know, at work, I don't know, community service, I don't know. We were assigned with cleaning a lunchroom. I'm on kitchen duty. Friend B is on the the lob, like not the cafeteria work where the tables are. They're on that, like their job is cleaning that. I'm like, yeah, just make sure about the tables, clean everything up, put it all away. And I'm in the kitchen, I'm cleaning. And like I'm done cleaning, I go to the lobby to see if they're done, and it's a shitty job. And not just like a weaponized incompetence shitty job, but like they really think that they did something, but it's like it's still bad. Like the tables are wiped down but without soap, and the floor was mopped before it was swept. Like just like little things that, like, and when you think about it, it's like how would somebody choose these options for an obvious, for an obvious thing. But I be forgetting like obvious ain't obvious no more. But it never was. Uh and like the common sense ain't common. Um so yeah. And then if I go to my and I could be mad at things, 'cause I'm like, oh, we're gonna have to spend more time here, do all this stuff, which would be a valid argument. But it's not just because of them, not because of friend B, but also friend B just don't know how to clean. You know? And you didn't know that. They don't know that. But the next best thing is not to just like belittle and get mad and call them useless and all this stuff. You know from their stories, because they're like, oh, they tell you different stories, like when y'all hang out and stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, they're just mentioning, like, I don't have to go this much into detail, but say if friend B had showed like childhood stories that just sounded like neglect, but not always to the worst degree, but just like nobody was really around to help them all the time and to show them everything all the time. So they learned what they could, what they picked up on their own, and of course they learned things throughout life, but some aspects of life just weren't important to them. But not that cleanliness isn't important to friend B, but just that it wasn't so emphasized in their life. Like it wasn't like, oh, clean up this room before you get a whooping type vibe. Like it was just like, wow, you should pick up around here. Walks away, you know. What else? I want to keep some topics. Okay, these are my dark confessions. Romantic. Um. Okay, so yeah, we know about the ghosting, April Fool's ghosting, and I've healed from that. Um. Did realize that convincing, because I had a friend tell me this, but he's always a hater, so I don't even like care sometimes. But he be right sometimes. He is, just to say, I'm a Sagittarius rising, and he's a Gemini rising. So we have like the opposite thing. So sometimes we be like, I be seeing like, I'm like, I can see him across the 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 chart, and I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, hey. But then he'll say some shit, and I'm like, that was so Virgo man of you. I did not like lock in. I'm like, oh, we're back to the real world. um, yeah, lol. But he was like, if you're convincing yourself to like someone, or feeling like you're convincing yourself to like be interested in someone, then you're probably just not interested in them. And I was like, in theory, they're doing everything right, and I do acknowledge that, my trust issues, and I try to still be like honest and upfront with a person without bringing the emotional lessons from the previous thing as trauma, like as something that goes on to the next thing. Like it's just like lesson, reflection, whatever happens, happens. Put it down there then, like dang. This boy asking for alkaline water, bro. Alkaline, I'll be fine. Anyway, yeah. And I was like, in theory, nothing is happening wrong. They're doing what I would expect in theory, but it's pissing me off. And I don't acknowledge my own anger sometimes, or my own discomfort sometimes. So sometimes it takes me a minute to really clock and be like, wait, I'm pissed off. Unless it's like a, "Argh." And I don't like being mad, so I'm already like, cause then I start feeling like a tightness in my chesticle middle, and I'm like, this ain't me, and I hate getting you like this. So why would you even, if you cared about me, so why would you even if you cared? Type. Yawned. What else? Sometimes I guess okay. Oh yeah, the dark confessions. And yeah, it took me a minute. And I was like, wait, no. But it was like slightly more difficult to maneuver because I'm like, trying to test out if that's actually what I'm feeling, this discomfort. I'm communicating that, let's not hang out today. I just want a minute, just a few days to myself and my friends, like without worrying about you turning into a literal like monster brat on my phone. And this is a and like it was just so weird because I'm like, if I'm on my phone arguing, then I'm like, no. And it was even funnier because it wasn't even always arguing. It was me genuinely having to explain literally life to this freaking orb. And not to shit talk. This is just me this is my life story too, I'm free. Um Drake fan, by the way. Let's start it like this. Drake fan, light skin. And it was something else wrong. Had to convince myself. Dang, what was the other thing? I can't even remember because I'm in a much better place now. But clingy. That's what I'm like, when you're truly like accepting something, you will not have to fight that much. And it's crazy to think that I fought that much to try to understand and comprehend and be nice and communicate. 'Cause, I know that I've made my mistakes in the past, so I'm not trying to jump the gun too fast. Not seem like I'm like incapable and all this stuff, because I'm over here analyzing so hard that I'm not even like actively day to day. And now it's like we're talking longer, but I'm still freaking writing the freaking. I'm like, oh, and I'm like in the head, in the realm over here, guys. Just keep up. In the realm over here, it's like freaking. I'm staying up. I'm staying behind hours. I got like a pencil in my hair and like my glasses are off and I'm just typing, and like the boss comes in for the next day and I'm still just typing and they try to send me home, but I'm like, no, I gotta get to the bottom of this. Something's not right here. Yeah, something's not right. Leave. Hashtag free me. Hashtag hashtag allow yourself to feel. And if you get stressed, and I'm not as stressed, like it's like you just get to a point when you just realize and remember that some things don't feel right because it is not for you. Like I'm not one who likes to get angry. Now I do speak my piece most of the time, and I can use my words most of the time to rap and present the situation that we'll be faced with to help you understand my side, feel it, and be so like lost but understanding. But you got nothing to say back. It's done. Just remember that. Remember that. But that's just not me. Like being stressed out, I be chilling. Like I'm happy. I go lucky. So it is lucky, amen. And it's abundant, amen. Actually, I had a prayer that I wanted to start the episode with. Father God, in the name of Jesus, free me from Cash App Borrow. If anything, they finna start paying me money because I'm sponsored. If I ever get sponsored by Cash App in the next 6 months, I'll be like, okay, can y'all repay what I owe you and double it? Double it and give it to the first person. Double it and it's mine now. Mhm. I think I'm gonna go eat eggplant with sausage. Might not bust at all, but we gonna do it because I have literally a full to go box of Sichuan eggplant, and I wish it had some crunch in it. I usually eat my eggplant with like it's usually like some bell peppers or something in it, so it's like, but it's just like, and it's really saucy. So I'm hoping I can like dry it out so it's not as saucy. Cause that's I'm like, there's just so many things that bother me that I'm like chill with now. Like I'm like, I can't do anything about that, but it still bothers me. Super saucy food bothers me. Super saucy anything all over me bothers me. Saliva seeing people spit bothers me. But I'm like, I just see it and choose not to react. Cuz I'm not trying to be perceived as this picky, crazy, overreactive, this and that. And of course, when I'm in my freedom, in my safer spaces, I will react. I'm like, bro. And some things are simple. It's like, no shoes on the bed. I'm like, bro, you wore those jeans outside for more than 3 hours and sat on a bench and you're going to sit on my bed? No. You went to the gym and used multiple pieces of equipment and did push ups on the floor in the gym? Mm-mm. And then I know you're like, well, it's the gym. Of course you can do push ups on the floor. But you can't. You can't. And so it's funnily like so it's funny to navigate the world like this as myself, and I know, but then trying to explain it sometimes, I'm already like, I think this is crazy, but I so say there's a movie theater. I'm like, I live near like 6 movie theaters, and the as a child, the fabric seats with the random dark stains, the burgundy seats with the dark stains, the gray or brownish meat like neutral tone seats with the stains. Mm-mm. I guess I'm never using the bathroom again. Oh, not even bathroom. I'm just like, oh, I don't need to sit. Thank you. If you weren't giving me a steel folding chair or like the white thick styrofoam plastic feeling ones, or um lawn or thin fabric like a camping chair, fishing chair, I don't know what they're called. Um Even like the black padded ones with like the foamish padding, I can do that. But if you're giving me maroon freaking lint Beta Beats, freaking dark maroon stain, and they don't even fold, like they stay open and you just stack them, I'm stressed since a child, since I was a young lad actually. But I'm like, I'm relaxing now. I used to not even be able to use normal sheets. I would use sleeping bags for everything. Like the shiny scratch, like not the ones with the flannel on the inside. That was trigger warning. But like double-sided soft texture like puffer jacket vibe, like mhm. That other shit, you're trying to kill me. Of course there's still some blanket textures that I just don't do, but I've brought myself to peace with some of them. Like I'm been able to use sheets now. Like wow. Like I would have to bring a sleeping bag everywhere. Like if we had like a family reunion somewhere, we're going to somebody's house, and I know they're gonna make me sleep in their bed, and their sheets aren't like a certain level of material, then I just have my sleeping bag on top, and I would just sleep like this. My sleeping bag. Yeah. So one of the movie theaters, they just don't have leather seats yet, and they're just still the fabric seats, and so many seats are like, ooh, splash. See me freaking out right now. If it's a foam chair with like with pieces taken out of it, so you can like see the sponge chunks. I can't do that, sadly. Like I'll be in movie theaters as a kid sitting like this in the chair. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, guys. Yeah. You said this movie's how long? Kung Fu Panda's how long? Okay, yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll be fine. And they're like, lean back. I'm like, mm-mm. Like, butt is numb. Like, and I'm like, maybe that's why my legs are already a little strong. Not only because it's been carrying this Tonka wagon that I got in the back, but it also, like, I was like sitting like this for hours on end. I would just stand up all the time. 'Cause that was easier than explaining like, oh no, I don't want to sit on your couch because it's gonna make me scream and it's gonna start making me itch, and I don't want to seem like I feel like I don't want you to think that I think that you're dirty, 'cause it's not you at all. I know you guys love this couch, like you've had it for years. Great for you, great for everybody here, but um, I'll be either sitting on the hardwood or tile floor, which I know could be dirtier than the freaking couch, but ground safe. Flat ground safe. Carpet took a minute to get acquainted to, especially random people's carpet, especially carpet that you can visibly see is dirty. Okay, those carpets I'm like jumping over it as I walk, but it's not even as a reaction to you and your, like it's not like, damn, you live like this. No, it's more like, don't touch that or it's over. It's gonna spread. It's spreading. It touched me. It's spreading. But you know what doesn't bother me? Dirt. Outside stuff, don't mind. Concrete. Like like my friend will be like, okay, do some push ups, and I'm like, I know I can't do a full push up, but I'd rather do it outside. But the gym did have turf that I can ignore for long enough until one time my friend was like, oh, the turf stinks. And I was like, you're crazy for even breathing that close to that thing. 'Cause that's like it's like my instinct to just stop breathing if something's too close to me and I don't feel like it's safe to breathe. And you would think that I'm good at holding my breath for super long. Mm-mm. I'm kind of subpar. I'm gonna take this off. Uh, yeah, that's funny, huh? That's real funny, huh? So yeah, um, like even walking, and I would walk around barefoot, like in on the basements, like concrete floor basements. Your feet are gonna get dirty, and I wouldn't mind that. That was okay, but sock? You want me to wear sock? I can't feel ground. Mm. And I had a Vietnamese coffee earlier, and my face has just been itching, but I can't tell if it's itching because I'm breaking out, or if it's itching because my mustache is growing back, or if it's itching because other reasons. But it's like been a slight itch, and it's only been like here. Okay, guys, let's just call it a day there. And since it feels like I ended this so abruptly, maybe I'll feel more encouraged to continue on. I'm gonna try to do is like, if you like got to the end, try to do as least cuts as possible, so you can see how it is for a real one. And maybe I will do it even if it's awkward, just so I can get better. Cause why would I want you to see me think about what I just said for the last five or for 3 minutes on it? But I'm gonna go eat that eggplant I was talking about. Add some sausage, see if it busts. Might not. Might bike. I'm like, bro, this do not bust. It bike. I'm starting that right now. Putting on make an Instagram notes post right now. Okay. Good night. Bye. Ooh, I saw Mama kissing Santa Claus underneath the mistletoe last night. He didn't see me creep down the stairs to have a peek. She thought that I was locked out in my bedroom, fast asleep. He's like, locked up in my bedroom. You can make the cobras dance, but not me.